Hey guys, bit of a hard truth slash cutting through the bull crap tonight, and this one comes from a very famous tale, The Tortoise and the Hare. The moral behind it, which also equates to a more modern version, and the actual reality behind them. And it's not to discourage, it's not to make anybody who runs by this rule feel bad. It's actually to empower you guys and to actually show you that it's not as all bad as it sounds. So, first of all, the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. Or, hard work beats talent. Now, first of all, that top statement is a load of crap. When is anybody going slow and steady won a race? A race is, by definition, somebody getting to the finish line fastest. Okay? Now, that may not be the best approach, but it's the one that wins. Okay? If you drive the fastest, if you run the fastest, if you lift the hardest, all of these things, the winner is the person who comes first. It's not the person who went slow and steady. Okay? Hard work beats talent. No, it doesn't. Hard work does not beat talent unless we use these next analogies. So, these are the old sayings that people run by. These morals of the story that were designed to put us on the right path. And I'm going to extract them a little bit and give you a different mentality behind them so we can make them work for us. Okay, and it will take away some of the bitterness we have towards talented people, because there's nothing wrong with them having talent. Okay, we all have our talents in key areas. Okay, nobody is talentless. It's just certain things correlate over better than others. Okay, so let's think of it this way: slow and steady finishes the race. Now, finishing a race is almost as important as winning it when we take away the race analogy. Okay, so if you finish the job, you get the job done. If you're looking at this from a fitness point of view, if you're slow and steady with your weight loss, you will reach the goal that you wanted to get to. If you are slow and steady and diligent in your strength gains, you will get to the end without injury. You are still going to finish. You may just not come first. And the beauty of this is that when you take this mentality, you don't have to compare yourself to anybody because you are no longer in a race. We can take ourselves out of it. The race is the word that seems to fuddle things up. Because if we're actually looking at things as a race, of course the fastest is going to win the race. Of course the most talented person is going to win the race. So, second point. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. If you and a talented person, in whatever field you're in, are working at the same rate, of course the person with more talent is going to win. Okay, so hard work does not beat talent. It only beats talent if you're working harder than a talented person. I've seen this far too many times where someone has true talent, a flair, a style, something that they can bring, and they squander it because they just rely on the talent. Talent will run out if people are working harder around them to bring themselves up. In some cases, we don't win because the talent is just too great to outdo the hard work. But if we start looking down here and start taking the slow and steady finishes the race, which is all we actually want to do in our own individual races, we just want to finish. So by all means, go slow and steady. But don't be worried about the fact that somebody might lose their weight quicker than you. They might get stronger quicker than you. Because if these guys are working at a faster pace, of course they're going to win. But that comes with risk. Now, just like in the tortoise and the hare, the guy that was going too fast became cocky. And becoming cocky in a race led him to take a nap. Okay? So, in fact, slow and steady didn't win the race. That was because the talent wasn't working. Okay, they stopped working, they stopped running, because the hare should have won 100 times out of 100 times, but he stopped working, and that is where the tortoise won. It wasn't because he was the most talented, it wasn't because his hard work beat the talent, it's because talent took a day off. Okay, again, so had they both been going at the same pace, the hare would have won, end of, and that would have been the end of the story, okay? But what we need to take in is that these hard work beats talent and slow and steady wins the race. These can really throw you off, because if you're working really hard, but so's the person with talent, they're going to beat you every time, but that's okay. It's totally okay for somebody else to beat you to the finish line as long as you get to the finish line, because your goal is dependent on you, not dependent on somebody else coming first. If you have a weight loss goal, as long as you get to it, that's all that matters. So let's take away from these old notions of slow and steady wins the race and hard work beats talent, because in real life it's not true. It's not true, but it doesn't have to matter whether it's true, because if we start believing that slow and steady will finish the race, and you will finish your race individually and you will achieve your goal. If it takes you a little bit longer, fantastic. It means you've had more time to learn. You might pick up extra things on the way. If you rush through it, sometimes it doesn't work. You may win the race, but you may never run another race again. And if you're up against somebody who's naturally talented, naturally gifted, genetically gifted in weight loss or in strength size, like I come up against, I work with some absolute freaks of nature when it comes to the talent pool. But at the end of the day, I have my goals and I'm achieving them. Other guys are stronger than me, they're faster than me, they're fitter than me, they're thinner than me, but it doesn't matter because they have that natural talent to do so. All I'm trying to do is work as hard as I possibly can to finish my race. You will all finish your races, okay? Whether you go slow or steady, whether somebody's more talented than you or not, and that is all that matters. If you need any help, if you want to talk any further, drop me a message. Thank you.